Welcome back. This very special episode will begin with a reading from a play that I actually wrote almost 2 years ago. And these other three were part of it. And we thought that the creative team here at the Dorm Room Collective would do a little reading of one of the scenes.
My Sunshine by Abigail Jensen. Scene 5, Natalie's room. Natalie is drunk and crying. Elise comes bursting in.
Dude, what the hell? Is everything okay?
Bella's not texting me.
Huh?
She won't respond to my texts.
Let's relax. When was the last time you talked?
In person, like 3 days ago.
You haven't seen your girlfriend in 3 days?
She sort of asked for some space.
Whoa. Why?
I don't know. Well, I think
Giving her space.
I'm trying.
What happened?
Well, on Saturday, I told her that I was in love with her.
What?
It's just what I am feeling.
You are not in love.
Huh?
You've been dating just over a month.
I thought.
No, you can't just tell her your feelings.
Do you see how ridiculous that is, though? I thought Belle and I were above all those social constructs.
They were constructed for a reason. You don't want to freak people out.
I am so pathetic.
You're not. You're just figuring it out. So what happened? What did she say?
Nothing. She just ignored it. And then the next day, she texted me and said she's busy and needs time to work on music.
Oh my God.
Do you think it's gonna be okay?
Sure, yeah. You haven't been texting or calling her, right?
I should call her.
Natalie pulls out her phone and begins to dial. Before she can, Elise snatches the phone.
No, you cannot.
I need to be an adult and just talk to her about it.
Not while you're drunk. How'd you even get this bottle?
You left it.
Oh my God, I cannot handle you. I'm gonna call James.
He's with Melissa.
He told you that?
Yeah, he needed advice, I guess. I'm not really sure because why? He doesn't even like her.
I don't know why he wouldn't like me. I mean, I've actually. Ooh, wait. Did you just say he doesn't like her? Did he tell you that?
No, I can just tell he wants to, but there's no connection.
So we should rescue him. I'm texting him.
No, you can't. I'm just saying that. You need to leave him alone.
You two are just best friends.
You don't open yourself up. I mean, if you're really in love with him.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. You don't need to drag him into this.
I already texted him. Coming.
Oh my God.
It's fine. You need a support system.
I just want to talk to her.
Quickly, she reaches for her phone where Elise has left it and calls Bella.
Natalie, no!
Pause. Ringing. Voicemail.
Hi, Bella. It's me. I'm sorry I've been harassing you. No, I haven't been doing that. Sorry. Ah, I apologize for what I said, I guess. I I mean, I don't know if I am. I mean, I do love you.
Elise grabs the phone again and hangs up.
You're crazy. You've just sabotaged yourself.
Don't say I'm crazy. I'm just expressing my emotions.
Well, sometimes you just need to suck it up and hide them, dude.
Not a detached bitch like you.
Excuse me?
I didn't mean it.
I know you didn't. But you still said it.
It's just I've pulled myself out of really dark shit because I let myself experience good things.
Don't pretend you
And
don't.
what the hell does that mean? You can't say something like that.
You would call your best friend a bitch, but here we are. I am the one that helped you gain confidence in college, pulled you out of depression. I took you to that party. I'm the reason you met Bella. But I am not the reason you ruined things with her. You can't let your feelings consume you. Being romantic is fine, but romanticizing is so damaging. If you only see her in pink, your actual relationship will never be good enough. It'll never be healthy. You might actually be in love. Fine. But you cannot tell her something she's not ready to hear. It's not all about you.
There's a knock at the door.
Fuck, come in.
James comes in, out of breath.
What's happening?
He's fine.
I thought you was sick. Dude, I ditched Melissa.
That was your choice. I didn't force you to come here.
Why did you even text me? I was out. I was out with...
With Melissa, we know. That doesn't mean you can't help your friends.
Natalie, do you need my help?
I just wanted someone to talk to. I don't need anything. In fact, I'd really appreciate it if you both of you left.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am.
Natalie, whatever's going on, let's just
stay out of this, just because you two are so close.
Oh, get over yourself.
You just pulled me away from my date, and now you're forcing me to leave?
It's not about you. Not everything is about you guys. Sometimes I just want friends, you know, but instead it's this tugging, and I am sick of being tugged.
Natalie's phone.
He's calling me.
The phone rings more. They all stare at each other. Then,
Hello? Oh, hey. Well, it's nice to...
long pause. Bella is talking.
Wait, don't go.
She has hung up on Natalie. Natalie holds the phone by her ear in shock.
She broke up with me.
What?
She said that she didn't want me to text her. Or she didn't want to text me. She didn't want me to keep texting her. She said that she's worried that it wouldn't be a good idea to see each other.
Natalie, I'm so sorry.
I bet you are. You're probably just counting the seconds until you can get back to your little fucking date.
No, if you need me.
I don't need anyone. Really, I have been through worse on my own. You know that.
Natalie.
Can you both just get out of here? You're pissing me off.
Are you sure?
James, just go back to pretending you like Melissa.
I do like
And at
Melissa.
least I did mean it.
Asshole.
Yeah, I am. Now leave.
Elise leaves. James and Natalie share a look of pained irritation, as if they cannot stand to be angry with one another, but they are. Then James leaves.
And here we are to the second half of this video. So now we have a panel, a group, a Zoom reunion of the cast of the original production of this play that I wrote. There's only been one production, but these were the original folks, and they helped me build these characters and create this world, which was probably the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life, was to write something that was just kind of bones, and then to meet so many amazing people through that and build something new where everyone brought a sense of their self to this play. So the play, My Sunshine, a usual here, I don't know, a regular, that's what it is. If you're a regular here, you know that I established, founded, and part of the creative team for this project, the Dorm Room Collective. My name is Abby Jensen, and I am here to facilitate this talk. My pronouns are she, her, and my favorite part about working on My Sunshine, I've already talked about, is working with all these people.
I'm next. Hi, my name is Josie. I was one of the actresses that worked on Abigail's My Sunshine. Working on My Sunshine, it was my first production here, so I feel like it was really good for like a first production, because it was like a student production, and so it was like a ton more friendly, a ton more like collaborative, and it felt a lot more like kind of like we're all like one cell doing everything. And my favorite part about this whole process was that I have met so many friends that I'm still friends with now, and that I'm super close to, and that I love very much, that are all like from this original cast, and I've worked with like other stuff on them, and of course like I hang out with them a bunch, and like so it was just like a fantastic launching point into everything else with a bunch of amazing people. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Christian Calhoun. I sound like God. Oh. Is it fixed? Is she good? Okay. Hello, my name is Christian Calhoun. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am a part of the artistic team on the Dorm Room Collective, and was also in Abigail Jensen's My Sunshine. And I think for sure my favorite part about the show is that even when the show was over, the friendships lasted. Sometimes you work on shows and, you're really close to the people because you're always around them. And you just kind of all go your separate ways and you have your fun memories, but it's like contained in a box. We never closed the box. It's still open and the rambunctious activities still fly. So it's been a great time. It's a monkey in a barrel of fun.
All right, my name is Matt Walter. I use he, him pronouns. I am a member of the Durham Collective Artistic Team and was cast in Abigail Jensen's My Sunshine. I think my favorite part, like a part of the process of bringing this play to life for the first time, because we each got to like create our own experiences with these characters that are 100% new and have not yet been seen before, and allowing just the aesthetic to build and having like photo shoots and creating all these incredible memories.
Okay, hi. I'm Cody Brown. My pronouns are she, her, and I think I played Natalie. I don't know if we're saying names, but I played Natalie, and my favorite thing about being in My Sunshine was really just like getting to know everyone, and like I knew some people, but I didn't really get to know them, and like getting to work with people that I hadn't gotten to work with was so fun because I always love working with people that I don't know that well and like learning their energy and how to build off of it and like how to strengthen our characters' relationships. I thought was really fun, and really getting to dive into like a character that like someone my age wrote and someone isn't like a famous playwright, we don't know what kind of like styles they have, so it was super fun to like get into that and like figure everything out.
Hello, my name is Mikelle Huntley. My pronouns are she, her, and I'd say that one of my favorite parts of just working on My Sunshine was kind of what Josie said earlier, just the collaborative process. Like, even though I was a pretty minor character, I still felt like I really was like a part of the process and that I had a say in, my character and just like how things were done to some degree. Like, I don't know. And that's something that I hadn't really felt in any other production I had been in before. And I just really appreciated that. There was a lot of creative freedom and it was pretty dang awesome.
Hi, my name is Molly Del Rossi. My pronouns are she, her. And my favorite part about being in My Sunshine individually was that I got to do a lot of things that I had never done in front of an audience in my life, such as singing on stage by myself and having my first onstage kiss, which probably took me like 30 minutes to prep myself for. But also, besides just the individual growth that My Sunshine gave me as like a baby freshman, I just loved all the jokes that we created and all the relationships that we created. And I specifically remember whenever we got into our space for the performance, how we would go behind the curtains and it was just like always trying to be quiet. And it was just so hard. And I had the best time with all these people. And again, like everybody else has said, I'm really thankful that we had such a good group of people that I still feel very comfortable with and I have a really good time with. So.
Hi, my name is Haley Panick, and I go by she, her pronouns. My favorite part of this like whole process, I think, was just getting to create a show that was like so intimate and so like personal to like each one of us and the audience. I mean, just like Molly kind of mentioned the space, but like just like the space that we were in, it was so close and it was like I can't even put into words like how like personal and like warm and cozy just the whole thing made me feel the whole time, and I think that was just my favorite part of it.
How delightful. Thank you everyone for saying nice things that made me remember that whole experience. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about this collaboration process that we've mentioned a couple of times. My freshman year of college ended. I moved out of my dorm, and then the next day I started writing the play. And so it was very much me reflecting on everything that had happened since I started college, which was a very different experience for me because I had never been to a big school. I have gone to small Catholic schools all my life. And so coming to a large public university was a very different shift for me, and it was a very good one. And I was feeling like theater and performance and writing were not just hobbies. It was, I was taking classes in those things and learning more about the professional world. So it was all of those things coming together. And I just wanted to write something really positive. So to break down what the play was about, it was just about the main character, Natalie, played by Cody, starting her first year in college and making friends and dealing with those friendships with people that are a little bit different than her, but also provide comfort. And the dynamic of the three best friends was one of my favorite things to write. And then Natalie falls in love with a girl named Bella, who is super sweet and makes her feel comfortable. And then Natalie's just doesn't control herself that much and is new to relationships, and so she maybe reveals too much of herself a little too early, freaks her out. And that was like the whole point, is that like it's kind of a rom-com. That's the structure I followed for a stage production, but I didn't want there to be any fighting or any like badness in the relationship, because they break up and get back together. It's pretty by the numbers, but at the same time I wanted it to feel fresh and not like, why would they be back in a relationship if something went horribly wrong? Really the issue is that they're just afraid of their feelings, which is kind of the story of a lot of young people, is just being afraid of how much they could love. And so that was always the plan from the beginning, was it to just be a joyful piece and there to not really be any antagonists, and for students our age to get to do that. And so yeah, I started writing it, and 6 months later we had our opening night. Literally 6 months to the day that I started writing it was our opening night. And so it was wild to have it be selected by a student organization to be produced, and then cast it, go through rehearsals, and then go ahead. So that's all I have to say.
I wanted to say something about the script that I found so engaging, both as an actor in the production and also I feel like as an audience member, I can only assume. But something that was really cool to me is that Abby has talked a lot about like this rom-com sort of environment of it. And we talked a lot about that during the process as well. But one thing I really enjoyed was that, like with the three best friends, you had this very like natural, funny bouncing off of each other. And but then with the private moments between Natalie and Bella, it was these very revealing moments, like Abby was saying, about how the vulnerability of the situation. And I really liked that because I felt like we could explore all facets of our own emotions as well as the characters' emotions during it. I think the script did a really good job of that. And I remember people being so surprised by how things turned out. I remember getting feedback afterwards being like, I would have never expected for Natalie and Bella to get together or to get back together, and I would have never expected this trio of friends or whatever. And so I really enjoyed all the surprises that came with the script and all the different facets of emotion that were there. It was really nice.
I think something else that made this a unique experience is, so Abby, the brilliant genius she is, she really took at this from like a very cinematic stance. Like we had music in the background that was like traditional Italian music to like kind of like honor the love of Italy between the characters. Everything was set up to be just the cinematic rom-com, and then you have like these college kids just going through it. And so it's like a bunch of different things that like, why is there Italian music in a college in America? Why is there Italian music in a rom-com filled with a bunch of drunk college kids? Like, but it just works because like, you know, all of the characters fleshed out and came to life. Like, it was just something so unique because you don't really get to work on a bunch of theater projects that are like, make this feel like cinematic. And everything clashed so perfectly. And I think it just elevated everything.
Yeah, and kind of like going off of like what the other two have been saying, another thing I just enjoyed about the script a lot is it was like at its core, the script itself was incredibly simple, but because like it was so simple and like straightforward, it allowed us when we like actually got to like do it to add so much nuance and so much like personality to it ourselves because it wasn't trying to be something already. So that was just one thing that I liked about the script. It was like it was almost like this blank slate that she handed to us and was like, make something for me. And we got to, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I think another thing that like why I like the script being well, the script itself wasn't like exactly simple, but it was like shorter and stuff. But because of the simplicity in the show, we got to build the relationship so much stronger and like play around with them so much more. Like especially with like Josie and Haley, who played like my best friends, like we got to like really like let our like relationships not only with each other as actors but the relationships that we developed through rehearsals with our characters, they got to really like shine through, and I think that was really cool to like witness and be a part of.
Well, and I think something that added to all of it as well, like you were saying, with just completely making it our own, was where we had it, because it was just this literal like tiny library with these couches and these like spiral staircases on each side going up onto balconies where like Cody and Molly had a scene, and it made it so cool as like an actor to be a part of, and I'm sure as an audience member to see, because normally you would have like a set that it's like, oh look, it's a library, but we were literally in like a library.
In the scene where like Molly and Cody kissed in like the balcony, it was so sweet. Like it was beautiful to like witness. Like it made my heart like swell, and like with the music and it was like and plus another thing about this show that I really liked is that it was centered on like two gay characters, and the scene it wasn't like based on like gay trauma. It wasn't based on like travesty and like it was just like simple conflict between two people that like loved each other, and then they just like got together, and it was fantastic.
Normalizing for like gay college students, like it wasn't anything that was like super overdone or like super cliche. It was just like a normal relationship that, you know, LGBTQ plus like people would go through in their lifetime, you know. Oh, this is like a normal gay relationship in a show, which I just thought was so cool. It was just like, it was refreshing, I guess, to say the least. And also I loved the space so much. I thought the space added so much to it. Like it was already in like a college setting. Am I frozen? Oh no. Well, it was cute.
Molly kind of talked about it earlier, but I definitely think that some of my favorite memories from this show, like outside of rehearsal process, was the backstage shenanigans. You know, trying to navigate this like 3 foot by 4 feet space where there's 4 other people, and you know they're changing their costume while there's like 10 alcohol bottles that you can't knock over, and throughout the entire time you're trying to stay quiet enough, but like, you know, these are your friends and so you can't. It was an experience that I had a lot of fun. And you know, hearing how every single night there'd just be these little bit of changes, and it was like, it genuinely felt like magic.
Kind of going off of what Christian said. So yeah, we had like these two tiny little backstage areas that were just like kind of like curtains that were like hung up underneath the balconies. And so we had to like be like in there, and like there were times where there were like so many of us like back there, and then like the blackouts would happen and we'd have to try and like go get stuff off stage, and like it's completely pitch black, so like we're just like scrambling trying to like locate these bottles of alcohol so that we can get them off stage. And it was so much fun, and it felt like an adventure that I went on with you guys, it was just kind of like this very much like, oh, we're just going to figure it out. And that's kind of like one of the things I love about theater the most in general, is the just like the figure it outness of all of it. And it's just like, oh, we're just going to do what we can. This is our space. And yeah, we literally constructed our own backstage. We constructed our own audience, and I just it makes me feel like very like artsy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it during the actual performances, we kind of just had to roll with the punches, as you do in any show. But okay, Josie, I don't know if you remember, but I think it was you and I backstage before the very last scene on our last performance, and the sheet that we had hung up had like fallen down kind of some way. And so we were trying to like hide in the corner or something. And yeah, anyway, that was amazing. Yeah.
I remember that. That was so frightening. Like, it was just pure panic when it just fell. We were like,
I
and
definitely
Christian.
broke character for a moment then, because I was like, I did not know what to do.
Well,
Yeah,
I was just saying that
was
Christian
like,
was like the one that was like 6'6", so he had to like, because it was like pretty high up, and he was the one that had to like keep hanging it up and like hold it up. I feel so bad.
Another
Sorry.
thing that happened to me on stage was there's this one like scene where like I don't remember exactly. I think I'm like texting Bella or something, and then it goes to a blackout, and then I'm supposed to be on the couch like sobbing and drunk, right? Because she like broke up with me or something. Well, during that blackout the first night, I was like trying to get to the couch, and I tripped over like something on stage, and I like fell into the couch, and as my only option at that point was like, okay, well, I'm gonna flop onto the fucking like couch because I don't know what else to do. And thank God like people thought it was like intentional and like kind of quirky and funny, because I was like, I almost just like busted myself open, and like I was like
Speaking of tripping, I like guess I just forgot that like people's feet exist for a second. And so I'm out there and I have this glass bottle, and I walk out of like the backstage area and I trip over someone's feet. And like it worked because I was supposed to be a drunk hot mess, but like there was a bit of panic because like 2 feet in front of me was this giant ass chair. And so I was like, am I about to just like face plant? Am I gonna be that drunk?
Though I loved the space so much, I did like all the intimacy, all the things we were talking about. Whenever it got dark, that shit got dark, like so dark. And I remember, so I had to set up my guitar, but it's pitch black, and all you hear is me whack my guitar like against the couch, against my knee, like literally everything. And I'm just like, shit. And I couldn't get it back on the stand before the lights came up. And so as the lights come up, it's me like, and then I go back behind the curtain.
No, it did. It got so dark. So after the first scene, we had to like clear off the table with all of the bottles and cups. And there were like 3 of us that were like, I think all 3 of us could grab all of this in maybe 6 seconds. And so it's literally trying to like cup stack like as fast as you can, but not the ones with water, and then grab the bottles and not like break them open on each other. And then I remember being in like the backstage area. And because there were people on the balcony during one of the performances, I like heard this like little tapping noise, and I looked up, and it was someone above us like seeing us through the floor that was tapping and was like, hi, and like trying to whisper. And I was like,
Who was it?
no, are you serious?
Expose them. Who was it?
it was so funny though. I was also backstage when the curtain fell.
I appreciate all the hoops you all jumped through to make it pretty. Because I didn't know all of this was happening. Like, I knew that you all struggled a little bit, but you were like, oh, we got it. It's fine.
Okay, well, for the record, it wasn't always chaotic. It was just every now and again. And that was our own faults.
And I just think it's funny that you all keep mentioning the bottles because, wow, you're really making it sound like I just had characters that were drunk in every scene, which a little true.
I was literally drunk in a scene, and Christian was drunk in a scene, and Cody was drunk in a scene.
My entire character was to be
drinking
drunk.
with Molly.
I mean, there is a scene where like everyone's drunk. So the thing with that was like the big it's a college, so we've got to have parties. We've got to have the a cappella party where no one there except for like 2 people are actually in an a cappella group. But it meant that I had to collect a lot of bottles, like empty alcohol bottles that we did fill with water, and I would have to carry them all across campus because I didn't drive in a box. And when I had like my peak amount with like 12, there was one time that I did drive, but I still had to carry them from the parking lot in an underpass to our rehearsal space, which was a classroom. Box of glass bottles, that's all that's in there. And I didn't have enough room in the box for a bottle of Malibu. I stuck it in the side pocket of my backpack, and I was walking down the stairs of the underpass, which are really steep at our school, and I passed a professor from the theater and dance department that I know, but I don't think he knew who I was, but maybe just recognized me from like being around in the building. And I was walking and I like smiled, he smiled at me, and then as we're passing each other, I realized there's a bottle of Malibu in my side pocket. And then as I was thinking that, I was on the steep stairs in boot heels and I fell, and I'm carrying glass, so all the bottles drop. It's very loud, and someone goes, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And the professor bolts. He bolts. He gets out of there and doesn't help me. Scraped up my ankle. And that was like 2 days before the show opened. So it was a fun time.
I like that he just booked it. Like, I don't know why he would have done that, but he was just like, I'm out. He was out.
I find it funny, Abby, that you brought up like we needed something to drink on stage then, and now like that's literally impossible at this point regarding the whole world right now. But like, I just want to express how thankful I am that this is a show that we got to do before everything went a little crazy, because like I remember Matt and I in the opening scene would swap like solo cups with each other and be like, oh, you want to try this one? You want to try this one? And it's just so funny to me because like that would be a war crime at this point if we did that on stage. And so same with Cody and I kissing. Like, I think it's just a really good opportunity that we had to do whatever we wanted in this tiny space, like with this large group of people. And I'm just very thankful that it's something that we got to do early on, and be able to share all those memories with each other and, you know, go out with a bang.
And then also, I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that this was both Molly and I's first like on stage kiss in a performance. I had like done things for scenes and stuff. I just know that Molly was a little nervous. Do you have anything to say about it? Was I uncomfy?
No, I remember so vividly, we had created a balcony out of like desk chairs or whatever that Cody and I were standing behind. And Abby was like, okay, guys, today is the day that you guys are going to do your kissing scene. And I was like, because it made me so incredibly nervous. And it's not because of Cody. I was like, I need everyone to turn around. And I remember being like, all of you need to turn around. Cody, close your eyes, and then we will get this over with. I don't know, it just made me so incredibly nervous, but I was also very comforted to know that I had a great group of people that weren't going to make fun of me because I was nervous. And Cody was great as a kissing partner, and so everything was fine. We worked through it, but it was quite nerve-wracking for me, but I got over it eventually.
And my biggest fear for some reason was I was gonna miss your mouth. I was gonna like slightly kiss your cheek or something. I don't know why I was so nervous about that. I was like, Okay. Like I've kissed people before. I don't know why my skills would just disappear automatically, but that was a fun experience.
Okay, changing the subject just a little bit. One thing that I distinctly remember is, so there was a scene where we had to have a whole bunch of movies. And so Abby brought them for herself, but she didn't have like the specific movies that she was talking about, like in the script. So she got all the cases and then just printed off like the correct covers for them, but the actual movie inside was different. Yeah, so I wasn't one of them like Shrek or something. Yeah, she's got them there.
If you open it up, so I just printed off this cover. I'm really good at making props. And there's just Shrek 2 inside. And then this one is National Treasure, and it's got Romeo and Juliet. So there you
and
go.
I just cackled all the time thinking about that. I was like, I'm holding Shrek 2 right now.
Like I had like a blooper or something that was like in relation to I can't remember what it was, but I remember that it was just absurdly funny, and it was just like kind of
I know exactly what
it was. So I because I was trying to mimic like real dialogue, and I didn't want to be like too overt and making sure we all knew that the main character was a virgin at that point. And like it is overtly said, but at this point, Cody's character has been dating Molly's for like 3 weeks. And then Josie's character is like, oh yeah, your girlfriend knows and I cut it off because the rest of the line is she knows you're a virgin, right? But I was like trying to like I think Cody's character cut yours off and was like, no, yeah, or yes, she does, whatever, she does know. And I think what Josie said was she knows, and then didn't get cut off. So Josie goes, yeah, she knows you're a lesbian. And I was just like, obviously, like, I'm not trying to I'm not going to interject what I think it would be. I was going to leave it up into interpretation, but obviously.
I do remember that. I remember laughing so hard. She knows you're a lesbian, right?
That reminded me. So while we were rehearsing, Katz was rehearsing as well. And it was so interesting because like you would just be having this serious moment. They're on the balcony and then you just hear Memory being belted out. And like there's like a mixture of Italian music playing, there's Memory being belted out, and then these two characters are trying to have a sweet little moment. And it was just so interesting. And then there'd be other times where like it's a really serious moment and then Rum Tum Tugger starts playing in the background. And you could hear it so clearly. And it was just one of those things where it was like, I don't know how this works, but I'm loving it.
Well, Constellations was also in rehearsal down the hall from us. And so we would hear scenes from them if they were like yelling at each other, in addition to our Italian music and memories from Cats. And it was just this cacophony of various shows happening all at the same time.
Oh, I love you guys.
One thing I want to bring up is just like, I remember specifically like opening night, just we were all kind of nervous and we were all like talking and like I just remember a lot of love that night. I'm sure you guys do too, but I remember like Abby gave us little notes and like I think we all probably cried a little bit at one point. And I was just I just think about that a lot, like us all like walking around kind of nervous, kind of excited about like what we were about to do, and just all the love that we had for each other. And I just think about that moment a lot. So
well, and also like I don't know, doing student work the first night, like it was insane how many people came out to support. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but people were standing for the show in the back. And like it was a full house. And both nights, like the crowd was just like so invested, so reactive. The love, you could feel the vibrations of it in the room, like from us as a cast, from the audience to us as characters and as our friends and peers. Like there was just such a level of love in that room.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, like, personally for me, this show was so meaningful for a lot of reasons, but like on a more personal level, I was in the middle of like a really big artistic drought. I was like feeling pretty bummed out because I had just changed my major from theater to a different major. And so I was like, man, I guess I like can't really be involved in these productions anymore. Probably won't have time, probably won't be able to do that. But whenever I found out about My Sunshine, I was like, you know what? I need to just go for it. And being able to be a part of a production was just like so meaningful to me. And I'm just so grateful for all of you guys and for Abby for just making it possible, because it was seriously one of the best experiences and just one of honestly my favorite parts of like all of last year. Yeah, just amazing. And I'm just so grateful for you guys and for the experience.
I also was struggling with my major, struggling with what I wanted to do, all those things, but like it never felt exclusive. It never felt like there was any judgment being passed or that you had to be a certain person to be a part of the show, if that makes sense. And I know that that can sometimes be a fear of some people whenever they're auditioning for things, because it's scary as shit to audition for something, one, but two, it's also scary to feel like you might not be accepted because you're not a part of a certain group or anything like that. And so I was really thankful that everybody was so welcoming, especially for my first show ever at college. I was very thankful for that, and it went swimmingly in my opinion.
The directors that I had before, and like how the cast was treated, and like just the time and care and effort put into like the creation of characters, the overall script. Like I don't think anything was the same when it first started, just because of like just like the development. I just love you, Abby, like so much, especially as a director. Like, oh my goodness, like you do such a fantastic job. Wrote it, directed it.
I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have been in this show. I loved every moment of it. I loved the safety that we provided for each other and the support and the comfort. Like, I remember going in and I was like, I'm having a really bad day today. And I would look at everyone and I'd be like, I can't even be like upset. Like, I really can't. Like, we were so supportive and helpful. Ugh. Kisses.
It was a really personal piece. I can't believe I did that. Because I don't expose myself that often except for when I write, I suppose. And so I was just like, all right, I'm going to write a scene where one of the characters throws up in front of someone that has a crush on them. A thing that happened to me. In front of a bunch of other people. And I just said, that's really funny. It has to be in there. And so for that to have been where the story starts, and then for all of you to add your own experiences to that and make it something new that's ours, was just really special. And you all dazzled me, and you are all such radiant creatures that I could not have done it with any other people part of this group. And I'm very glad that we got to have this little reunion and I got to see all your pretty faces once more. Oh, you're all so nice. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's here, that came to the reunion. I appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that watched.